All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're gonna give all glory and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Ba'ashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Hashem,
Rakakwadash.
Kakadash.
Rakakwatash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, who teach and rule well, and salutations to elect. Pushing this word out there. This is Brother Barak.
His brother Salah.
Well, now,
And we have Brother Yawis up here as well. And we're gonna be doing this lesson, and we're gonna be speaking about a lot of you lukewarm ass motherfuckers out here, because that's what you are. You lukewarm, people that are in this truth, man. You know, and for Apostle Tahar, he actually said, Shalak Rayam onto you lukewarm ass people, man. And 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 this lesson also goes into humility, because if you too prideful, man, the Lord gonna spit you right out. You know, and the Lord dealing with when this when we coming back that we hope to be the elect, right? Um, you know, the characteristics of the hopeful elect is what? It's one of the characteristics that we have to be, meek, you know. And when you this prideful, puffed up dude, the Lord gonna spit your ass right out. And so yeah, Revelation 3:16, it says, "So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth." So, and yeah, that's some scary judgment, man. You fall in the hands of the Lord. And you got a lot of guys, man. You know, they might say they're in the truth, but that saying doesn't really have any meaning behind it, because deep down they still acting like their worldly self. Nothing much has changed. They might memorize a couple of scriptures. They might memorize some Hebrew, you know, but nothing really changed. They still the same fucking person, man. And stay away from these lukewarm ass people, you know. And so yeah, brother Selah, you got some precepts you want to bring out?
Yeah, So he said one of the characteristics of the elect is being meek. Well, I have one precept right here. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 5. It says here, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." So it's not going to be like people like freaking Bishop Nate, or right, dressed in like fancy garments, riding on a stallion or a horse, Salakia. No, no, man. What Yahushua come and he he came in the most meekest form, riding on a donkey, man. So like that, that's the characteristics that that we have to that we have to take on, is we got to take on characteristics of Yahushua, and one of them was in fact meekness.
Yeah, you got guys like IUIC, man. Fucking putting themselves, making AI characters of fucking, you know, putting themselves on a pedestal. Fucking you know, like doing riding up on a fucking like golden donkey or whatever. You know, man, and man, like and a lot of these guys, man. Another thing is you got like stupid shit like Brucella. Fucking these meetups, man. And they doing the same fucking worldly ass shit. You know, like these dudes don't grow up, man. You talk about coming in this truth. You talk about dying to self. You talk about all these things, man. Well, these dudes still act like fucking kids, man. You know, and you know, eh, I mean, yeah, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And so I'm gonna bring out this precept. Okay, this is the book of Daniel 12 and 10. So let's pull this out real quick. And here it says, "Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand." And so, yeah, man, we're gonna see who's really, sincere about this truth. You got a lot of guys, man, and the other day, we there was this dude that we saw, almost like he made his video, almost making fun of, you know, the camps. He was fucking out here literally preaching the Bible in the woods to a goose in the fucking woods. A fucking like animal, a goose. Almost like making fun of,
So
and
the men that went out there and died on the lines, man, preaching this gospel of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, and you're gonna go fucking preach to a goose?
yeah, and so,
You know, take a photo?
the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. And so, yeah, man, these guys don't fucking understand, how serious this truth is. You out here, and you even got little fucking kids, man. You got little kids like, you know, and I don't fucking care how old you are, because, you know, when you were in the scriptures, when you were 12 years old, you were an adult. So basically, right? So you got little kids coming up in here saying, oh, you follow the camps, or, what you're an Israelite? What tribe are you from? These many men crept in unawares. That doesn't exclude you fucking little fucking kids. Taking this shit, Salaki, not shit, but taking this truth, you taking it as a joke, man. Switching from one camp to the next, making random shit up, trying to send out scriptures that are out of context. You guys are just so in discord, you know, and the Lord hates that. And I'm gonna pull that scripture out, actually, because,
Hey, brother, while you pull that scripture out, I have some precepts
go
I
ahead,
want to
brother.
give. All right, so this is speaking of those children. This is First Corinthians chapter 13 verse 11. It says here, "When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, and thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things." Yeah, and was that, and what else does that go into? Putting away what, the mindset of children. What giving into the intrusive thoughts, and what those intrusive thoughts, include, like what mocking, scoffing. Really, it was Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that, that put the spirit on you.
And a
You know,
lot
you, you, to mock and scoff the prophet, so he can fucking judge your ass.
a lot of these guys, speaking of what you said, brother Salah, like, what's it called? When I became a man, I put away childish things. A lot of these guys got that spirit of, like, coming back to, like, that how, that there'll always be a dude, and, like, you go to high school, right, and this dude graduates, right, at school, like 2 years, 3 years ago, and this guy's still coming back to the fucking, football games, still trying to, like, talk about high school, still try to talk about how he was this in school. A lot of these guys, got that same fucking spirit, but in the worldly sense, talking about what they did in the worldly sense. Oh, back in the day I did this or this, like, man, nobody wants to hear this fucking shit, man. It's
Yeah,
fucking
you
it's
leave that all
fucking
behind,
wicked,
man.
man. We don't want to fucking hear this stupid fucking shit about anything. It's fucking, it's vexing, man. It's annoying, man. And this is Proverbs 6:16. It says, "These 6 things that the Lord hate, yet 7 are abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in the running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren." And, it's ironic, because, we use this app called Discord that actually makes these lessons, but there are a lot of guys out here that are claim to follow the truth, and all they do is just sow discord on this app, Discord, trying to fucking, they just They think that debating like fools and like debating for 4, 5, 6 hours. Yes, people do things like that. They think that that's edification. When honestly it's just foolishness. And yeah, and honestly, man, you got a lot of guys that come into this truth um just for like the debates, just for not they don't even care about the truth. They just come in this thing just to see like debates. And that's why you got guys like Sakari,
Yeah.
paying charging people to go watch a debate and shit like that. Putting on his website, trying to find the most popular person that they can debate with, you know. Um and man, like, and also going back to this heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, you got a lot of guys in this truth, man, that really just they fucking hate you. They don't even they secretly might be jealous of you. They secretly might think of think think of they might secretly have wicked thoughts towards you. You know, they secretly might have those like they might be like, oh, if I do this to this guy, what is he gonna do? You know, or if I I'm gonna speak to this dude's woman. You know, yeah, you got guys like that, man. Seeing what they fucking could do, and if you one of those guys, man, shalak rayam unto you, shalak rayam, and because the Lord fucking hates you, man. You know, you guys are gonna get fucking
He's
sifted
just
out,
a spirit.
and yeah,
Seeing how far you can get away with things and like fucking bullying people.
yeah, these guys are agent provocateurs, man. Fucking agents, and many men crept in unawares. And matter of fact, we're gonna get that scripture just so we don't butcher it. This is the book of Jude 1:4. It says, let's get that King James. So there are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men turning the grace of our power Yahweh Hashem Yahushua into lavishness and denying the only Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So you got guys, and you got some of these guys, right now, man. They come in this truth, man, only to get with fucking women. Cause you know, on this side, man, we shouldn't even be worried about that. If the Lord gives you a woman, good for you. But a lot of these guys, man, they come into this thing just to they get in women.
Get a
And
couple wives, man. You want a couple wives, and you want to just say, "Yo, I got this many wives. Everybody, look at me. Look at me. I have all these wives with head wraps on."
yeah,
It's like this isn't a fucking flex off, man.
yeah, yeah, man, and yeah, and the Lord gonna deal with you people. Don't worry. You're gonna see it during Jacob's trouble. You're gonna realize this shit ain't no, this shit isn't just a fucking, a flex off to see how many wives you have. You guys, man, you men crept in unawares. You fucking get the fuck out of here.
You're gonna be
I'll
exposed,
be
man.
honest, to be honest,
You're gonna be
honestly,
exposed.
you're supposed to have your wives to yourself. You're not supposed to be telling everybody about your wives. The wives are supposed to be a possession.
Mm-hmm.
No one should meet your wives. No one should know your wives. No one should even. I just shouldn't even care about your wife. That's all you. That's all. That's on your wife. Keep her up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that goes back to why you know women would be wearing
Hey,
head wraps. The characteristics of a meek woman. You're not supposed to be showing off your woman like that. And go ahead, brother.
Sluck, your brother. I just want to make a correction. It's not lavish. The word's actually lasciviousness.
Yeah,
So
Okay,
lasciviousness.
brother. Yeah, let me see that.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah. I had to
Slack,
make
brother.
no, you guys. I just
If
want to
I
make that
can,
minor correction.
I,
But
I have,
if we Google the word lasciviousness,
Yeah,
right?
let's yeah. What is it? What is that word? Let's break that word down right now, actually, so we have understanding. So
It is a tendency to feel or show strong sexual desire or lustful, lewd quality. So yeah, that goes along with motherfuckers want to show off their women and I always hated that too. Like that's weird. Like everyone talks about like, oh, they're with this good girl with that. Like that's just weird. Like no like it like if it, Like you like as the brother Nala said, like that's your woman. Why the fuck should you tell people this or that? Like I understand like if it's like like if it's like a marriage celebration, yeah, cool, whatever. But like you shouldn't be like showing off your woman like that, man. That's no, that's off.
Yeah, so you got a lot of dudes, man. I mean, like, you know, first of all, these dudes are going off, doing shit like this, but man, it all comes from the pride, you know, pridefulness, man. And their pridefulness is gonna lead to their destruction. These guys, honestly, a lot of them haven't really changed. Besides the title of getting to this truth, they don't really change, to be honest, man. They still out here debating. Out here fucking, you know, fucking, committing wicked sins, adultery. Fucking, they still out here going off, not even using the proper name. You know, they following mixed doctrines. They following other religious customs. You know, man, like these people are through, man. Eh, like these dudes are waxing worse and worse every fucking day, man.
Yeah, and I got a verse for that. It's 2 Timothy 4:3. For the time will come when people will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they will gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. They will turn their ears away from the truth and turn aside to myths. So they want to just gather up a bunch of people that are basically going to tell them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. A bunch of yes men, a bunch of different doctrines. They want to just accept all and say, well, we're all following the same God. So
Yeah,
we
and we
have.
and we got a guy, and if you watching this, you know who the fuck you are. We got a guy that recently we rebuked, and we told him, you got to be using the proper name. Now, no hate towards this brother, but this guy said, we're following the same thing, and you know, we not following the same thing if you're not using the proper name. You know, I don't care if it's one vowel point off. You're playing with the name of the Lord, and you want to humbly accept that or not. You're playing with the name of the Lord. Okay, that's not something you want to fucking mess around with. And I got a
Eh,
precept. If you want, unless you want to continue, Ak. Um, I wanted something related to what you said. It says it is not, the Proverbs 25:27. It is not good to eat too much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. But you got a lot of guys, man, trying to seek, their own glory, exalt themselves, like everybody look at me, you know, on the spirit of everybody
I
look at
did
me,
this.
I did this, being hypocrites in the sight of men, you know, guys doing one thing in front of other people, but behind the scenes, your ass is doing a completely different thing. But that's
Yeah.
the thing, man. Because if you really followed and you knew Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai existed, your ass wouldn't fucking be doing that because your ass would know that the Lord's watching you. You wouldn't. Your ass would fucking know, man. So like if you really had fear of the Lord, you wouldn't be doing these fucking hypocritical things, man. You know, your ass, man. That's basically going to show like you don't believe in the Lord. You have no faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because these fucking guys think they're fucking slick, man. You know, hey, shalak vayam to you lukewarm ass motherfuckers, man. You know, and all these people, man, that try to fuck people over. Try to do these little mischievous things. Like you think the Lord doesn't see that, man? Shalak vayam to you fucking wicked ass people, man.
Hey, brother, I just want to say these people were very well could be heathens, or should I even say these people could be fucking Edomites, which in that case, their ass is already screwed anyways. And we said this, in previous lessons, man, like Esau, man, they shouldn't have picked up this book, period, man. And I'm gonna bring out this verse again because the elder apostle Gabar said repetition is the father of skill, but it's the one that says unto the wicked. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 16. And it says here, but unto the wicked, Yahweh saith, and that's speaking to you, fucking Edomites. What hast thou to do to so like what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? And if you read on to verse 17, seest thou hatest instruction and casteth away my words behind thee. And that's Esau for you. He's always adverse to the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. That's why you see the world that is in today. In such disarray. And I saw this from the elder from the Roman at 144 saved. Esau's playing to block out the sun, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like, like these damn devils, yeah, kill gates of hell. Oh man, and all those cronies, they're planning to block out the sun, and kill vegetation. That's how they plan to reduce the population. Well, that's one of the ways how they plan to reduce the population, man. Goes to show you that this man's not fucking fit to rule.
A lot of these
Uh,
guys
uh,
get that
uh,
spirit of like, like Job's friends, going back to that, uh, you know, s- um, these guys, man, like, they can say they have faith, they can say all these things, man, but then the Lord tests them, and really they honestly, this is why you see a lot of guys fall out, and it's a book of Job 13:4, and it said, but ye are forgers of lies, and ye are all physicians of no value. And yeah, a lot of these guys are just, they have no value, man. They just there just to be fucking, yes men, con men, con. You just here to just fucking, debate, sow discord, make fun of people. You think we're fucking stupid or something?
Yeah, you think like we're not gonna know like the shit that we see? We see this shit, man. We can fucking read through this bullshit, man, because we've been gifted the discernment through the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah to be able to see that you're wolves in sheep's clothing, man. You're fucking full of shit.
Yeah.
You know? People like wanna, take advantage of us. And it goes for in many different ways, man. Many different ways, man. The Lord sees that.
Yeah, and man, you people, man, you guys are just like, honestly, man, like I can't wait till the Lord deal with you, you know, because you guys are gonna know this truth is not just a joke, man. You guys think it's just about, you know, history books and you know, like these guys like to follow that, soft Gentile doctrine, where they think that, yeah, there's hope for these fucking Edomites,
Don't curse Ak.
Yeah, like they want to point out the plank in your eye, and they got a bunch of fucking planks in their eye, you know. Like these guys, and they got that spirit of over righteousness too, you know. It's like, can I go to the Bible? Um, can I go to my car to get the Bible on the Shabbat? Like they got like, man, like, man, I can't wait for the Lord to deal with you fucking people, man. Honestly, bro. Because a lot of guys, they get come in this thing and they think they can just like, you know, they get really puffed up. They think they're like some fucking some some wise scholar, and we even got guys saying, oh, if I see GMS camp, on the highways, I'm gonna go talk to them. I'm gonna go debate with them. And you got guys online saying shit like this. Like, okay, go do it, man. You got guys saying stuff like this too. You know, like, cause I know people. If you really tried speaking to these elders, man, these elders are way, 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 wiser beyond their years. You know, they've been in these elders, man. They've been in the truth, 3 times, the amount we've been alive for. For some people. So you think you get in this thing free 4 or 5 months ago, and you know everything, and you're gonna start debating with an elder, man. Bro, that's crazy, man. Um, but yeah, you got any precepts, brothers?
yeah. yeah. So well, yeah. So going back to to what you said about about those guys taking advantage of us, right? So I remember the elder Malcolm talks about like it's the same people, right? They use Jake, right? Right. They use Jake. The same people that made all these inventions that built up Babylon, aka America, or spiritually Egypt, right? Right, they're using Jake. The same people they had on their slave plantations. These people were also smart enough to make all the inventions, man. The fucking refrigerators, the automobiles, the internet, man. All the conveniences that you see here today, man. They use and abuse Jake, man, to have all these inventions. And what do they do once they have everything? They're gonna off Jake. They're gonna kill Jake. Why? Because Jake's in their way, man. Man, and it just goes to show you how fucking vile and demonic and diabolical these damn Edomites are, man. That's why we're gonna fucking beat your ass when we get to slavery, Esau. And I have a precept right here. So this is the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, right, chapter 5 verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. And yeah. That's right, man. These same people, they're gonna use and abuse us, and once they have all the technology that and all the conveniences and resources, that we made, they're gonna get rid of us, and then they're gonna try to take everything else, man. Why? Because it goes back to to these fucking devils wanting to take that birthright back. But guess what, Esau? It was never meant for you to have anyways, man. It was already declared in the heavens that you would give it. That's why he did what he did, man. By selling his birthright to Jacob, because Yahweh Bashem Yahshua put that spirit on him to sell it. It was never meant for him anyways.
Yeah. Ultimately, some of these guys were just never meant to get it. The Lord set them up and the Lord set some of these wicked ass people up to see if we were really sincere about this truth. These lukewarm guys, come in here to try to question, try to question our how you say it, our doctrine. You know, you lukewarm ass motherfuckers, man. Um, you know,
Even disrespecting, going to the point to disrespect the credibility of the elders and apostles like Ray Millstone by saying things like, "Are they worthy to be called apostles?" Or "Why are you calling them that? You shouldn't give them double honors." Like these stupid fucking remarks, man. When none of you guys ever went out and did camp or put yourself on the line as a living sacrifice, you guys have been in this truth for not even a fucking year, and you want to talk about the elders and apostles like Elder Apostle Gabar and Elder Apostle Tahar that have been out for over 35, 40 years.
yeah, you
Every single year.
like
Every single year. And you have the nerve to fucking say that? Shame on you.
shame on you,
That
man.
fucking pisses me
Shame
off,
on you,
man.
man. You guys have
That
no
pisses me the
idea
fuck off.
what these
He's
men go
not
through,
only
man.
not only have they done thousands of videos, not only have they done thousands of videos, not only have they brought many, many men into this truth and created a wildfire of men coming into the truth that are sincere. You have the nerve to just say some stupid comment. I bet you would never even say it in front of their face because they would cut your ass up with the scriptures.
Yeah, yeah. And like the brother Sorrow, he says, these men are novices being lifted up with pride. Go ahead, man. Go up to, I guarantee you, man. You guys went up to some of the elders, some of the elders at some of these camps, man. They would fucking cook your ass so hard, man. You know, you guys would, man. And obviously we use righteous judgment, but your ass, if you try to start debate, sowing discord, you know, start talking about these fucking, start bringing up some Gentile doctrine, man. The Lord gonna these guys, the Lord gonna deal with you, man. Like, I don't know, man. This stuff got me speechless, man. It's just complete stupidity.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Yeah, we live right now.
All right, what's the topic? What's the topic?
Hey, we talking about these lukewarm people, and we talking about like these people, these men crept in unawares.
Okay, okay.
Mainly these damn heathens that picked up the book when they're not supposed to.
And I'm gonna pull out a video on real quick. I'm gonna just play the video. Elder Apostle Rakah of GMS sending curse on these wicked ass people. So I just want to say fair use, fair use. So
Shit.
Call you wicked niggas, all you wicked niggas that are teaching false doctrines. Wahabajim, Wamashapathim, Waharagium, Waashiam, Babakusha,
A lot of these niggas could be
Waharagium,
arguing with the 12 and don't even know. But they
Waharagium,
be talking shit about the
Io.
elders. They could be debating with the 12.
yeah, man. You guys, man. You guys think you know everything. These guys think they know everything, bro. You might watch a 2 hour long video from some pastor, and then you go and tell everybody, man. You guys, and brother D Knight or brother Selah, brother Sarah, you know, you know, um, you know, w- we're getting to a point where, the Lord, when we give in, he's gonna give us him, Yahweh Ratazab, we are part of that, hopeful elect number. But right now, we even still getting, we still even getting, the abilities, spiritual abilities like the discernment, where we're gonna be able to discern, wicked ass motherfuckers. We're gonna be able to see the wheats and the tares. Who's really sincere about this thing. Because I can tell you right now, man, a lot of these dudes are in this truth just to get woman. You know, just to get some woman, man. I guarantee you,
Because
man. Because
let me tell you
you
something.
guys.
Let me say something.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You will see how they act, man, when you're in a congregation and there's women in the calls and you see their voice and their tone switch up
Yep.
and they start talking a different way or trying to get the higher edge on the mic when the brothers are on the call. If a brother speaks, they just interrupt them and then just to have a woman hear them, they don't like it. They don't like it, man, because you know what, they want to be able to just use this to just rack up a bunch of wives, man.
Hmm.
you know they want to collect them fucking Jake's, man, Jake woman, the Eve woman with the dusty ass head wraps, man. Shalom, Karnak, all praises, Karnak. That bullshit, man.
Yep.
Some of these women are full of shit too. They're just a bunch of hoes that just put a head wrap on most of the
And
time.
that's why a wicked woman is given unto a wicked man. So you got some of these dudes. And we're not saying all of them, but some of them, they're gonna see, man. You know, and you know, these dudes like the idea. These lukewarm ass motherfuckers. They like the idea of a submissive woman. And that's why they come to this, quote unquote, coming to this truth. And that's why exactly they're men crept in unawares. Because they pop up out of nowhere. You know, they literally pop up out of nowhere, and they start trying to next thing you know they just start like you know they start trying to collect wives.
Man, I'm telling you, novice has been lifted with pride, bro.
Yeah. and
That's
you
all
got
it is,
and you
you
guys
know.
got guys breaking down the MOTB wrong. And then your ass over here then trying to get more wives. Like you got to understand, man, when you know like if you doing that, man, you're taking on responsibility of it's not only you leading your wife astray and the people around you astray. You know, you saying the mark of the beast is a fucking spiritual, only spiritual mark. Some of these people saying the mark of the beast. Of course, it's spiritual, but it's physical mark. You know, it's not the name JC. It's not the white woman. It's not disobeying the laws. You know, these motherfuckers, man, are confusing things. They're confusing things, man. You lukewarm ass people, man. You gotta go, man. You gotta go. Uh, we, we the Lord, we're gonna see it real soon too, where the mass judgments are gonna come out, and they're gonna be not no normal judgments too, and that's and like one of the brothers from the Chicago camp mentioned, he said how, a lot of the times now, like a lot of people are getting judgment, and they're not just like regular judgments, like it's like crazy judgments, and that's
Yeah,
exactly
the
what's
most I
happening.
will. Yeah,
Go ahead,
he
go ahead, brother.
plaguing motherfuckers. I'm telling you, man. These niggas that I'm telling you, yeah, he plaguing these Jakes. He plaguing. He
And,
sending
and you
A's, STDs,
and
all
you
of that.
got and you got guys too, man. You'll talk about them chariots, and they start kind of like giving you like a little chuckle, start laughing. You guys think it's a fucking joke, man. You can kind of sense these little changes in demeanor. See if you know, and that's the thing, man. If you don't follow this, and there's one thing that you have a problem with in the scriptures, and you don't follow the whole word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and your ass got to get the fuck out of here. You know. So you got
True.
guys saying like certain books are not, canon. Or or certain books are, what's it called? We shouldn't keep those certain books. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Nah, I hear you. Nah, they do. I
yeah,
don't. Yeah, I was talking to the brother Salah. Yeah, a lot of these, it ain't even worth wasting your energy on, bro. It's like you gotta. Some niggas just can't. Some people just can't get it, bro.
yep.
You can't get it. And I was just watching Apostle Tahar, bro. He was saying, he was like, yeah, man, we ain't about to keep going back and forth with you, bro. You can't get it. Hey, the scripture don't say I got to get on my knees and beg you. I thought I'd tell you, bro. It's something
Yeah,
you.
bring out Titus 3:10 or 3:11. Actually, talks about that.
You said Titus 3:10.
3:10, I believe it's Titus 3:10 and
Okay.
10:11.
Titus. Titus. All right. Titus 3:10. It says, a man that is heretic after the first and second abomination reject, knowing that is such is subverted and sinneth being condemned of himself. Exactly. Yeah. If they can't get it, bro, they can't get it. And that go back to the other scripture about shake the dust off your feet. I believe that's a precept.
Yeah, yeah. We'll move on to the next town. Don't cast
Yeah.
your pearl among swine.
Think about it, bro. Them prophets that was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Think about it. In fact, I'm pretty sure we had gay motherfuckers walking up to you, trying to troll and shit. You think the prophets was arguing with them niggas? No, I'm pretty sure they just you tell them you sinning, brother. You're a homosexual. You need to repent. We just walk away. We ain't gonna debate with you, argue with you. You can't get it. You can't get it.
And that goes back to that. I believe when it was the beginning of the start of the reign of King Rehoboam and King Jeroboam, when they started allowing sodomites in the congregation. Started allowing sodomites in how you say it. And the Lord hated that, man. You know, and these guys
I'm telling you.
and these guys, you guys, some of these guys with sodomites in their fucking congregation. Matter of fact, you
That's
know,
that Christianity shit. Everybody can be saved. They push
yeah,
that narrative, getting hella money off motherfuckers,
yeah. You got guys with
hustling.
trannies in their congregation. You know, man,
You got some
for real,
pastors
man.
that deal with them, man. Especially in Atlanta. You got a lot of them gay ass pastors. That
Yeah,
shit is crazy, bro.
yeah. And that's the thing. If you were really sincere about this, you would tell these guys, get the fuck out of here, or But these guys, a lot of these guys, they want money. They want monetary incentive. They want their intentions, are trying to get as many people as possible. You know.
Exactly. The thing is because of it's not about emotions, how much people you got in your congregation. You could have four sincere Akim that come every day and want to hear the word, bro. Compared to your 200 niggas, six might show up every day, but you got that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about the multitude. It was never about the multitude of congregation.
Yeah.
And actually, let's bring out Judith 9:11. That goes to what you just said.
this out?
Sure. 'Cause like we said, the elect is a very few, small remnant.
9 and 11. This is my last. I was actually gonna ask you about that verse.
Which one?
Judith 9:11. I believe of Elder Apostle Ramlab. Someone was speaking about that yesterday.
Judith. Judith. Yeah, man, I gotta even sharpen my sword. I gotta
Oh
go.
yeah.
You know,
So
I be in the scriptures, but I gotta go deeper. Go deeper.
yep. Yeah.
Apostle's good on that.
And this is the book of Judith 9:11. It says, "For thy power depends not upon numbers, nor thy might upon men of strength. For thou Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, for thou art of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai of the lowly, helper of the pressed,
Exactly.
upholder of the weak, protector of the forlorn, savior of those without hope." And doesn't that go back to also like you remember I believe there were when they no one thought King David would you know uh would be the one to slay Goliath, or no one would thought King David would be king, like yeah. And but these guys, man, they don't have that. They kind of have that similar spirit of they don't have that faith, they don't got that, like they think it's all about you know money, numbers, uh, you know, uh, you know, all these things, man. And yes, some of these things, some of these things you know, they definitely are important. Doesn't mean you be fucking lazy and you don't work a job, But but these guys that they get so they get so they start getting people, getting subscribers, attention, and then they get so get caught up in that, Eh,
People joining
Yeah.
the groups, more
Mhm.
numbers in the congregation, then they forget about the people that they once came up with that are sincere and care about them. They rather trade 100 pennies for 4 quarters.
yeah, yeah, man. You got a lot of these guys on that 100 pennies for 4 quarter spirit, and I'm gonna pull that out actually. Yeah, so this is a be careful who you call your friends. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, and it goes to the quality over quantity. Because remember, man, the Lord's only dealing with a small number. You know, He ain't dealing with all of these guys. And you still got guys up here saying, that guy's a Jake, that guy's an Edomite. You know, and now sometimes 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 I'll be like, yeah, that's an Edomite, but I have to correct myself and say, that guy could be an Edomite. You know, because we don't fully know. And you still got carnal ass dudes that claim to be in the truth, and they still going out here judging just by, you know,
They're not the prophets of
looks.
Yahweh Shem Shai. They just not the prophets.
Exactly. These guys are not spiritual.
They just not the
They're not
prophets.
spiritual, man.
Most are not dealing with them.
Yeah. So that's another thing, man. We can't be out here trying to chase friends. I don't even be really speaking to nobody. In the world, if you got you got work and you have to speak to somebody, or that's cool. But some of these guys, man, it's just when you talk to them, they're like talking to like fucking man childs, man. They look like a certain thing, but they act like fucking children. They might look like a fucking full ass man or whatever, but they act like children, man.
But they little ass boys, man. That's why That's why Eve don't take them serious. They take them as a joke.
Yeah,
Eve, think about it, bro. Eve want a nigga. She want a stern nigga. She don't want no, you know. Even though she play that persona, at the end of the day, she wanna. Why you think they chase Esau so much? They want a nigga that's, you know what I'm saying. But also we know Eve wicked as fuck, anyways. But at the end of the day, bro, Eve want a damn. She a damn demon herself. So I'm gonna say about her. I
yeah,
think Northern Kingdom women better than Eve, man.
yeah, yeah. You got a lot of these women crept in unawares too. trying to get that attention. And you also are lukewarm. And the Lord gonna spit you out too. Don't worry, because you got a lot of women thinking they can preach. Calling the name Ahia. Because you got that one woman. I don't know who she is, but she's that woman preaching. I forgot her name, but she's calling the
Shalom.
yeah, she's calling the name of
Come on, me.
Ahia ben Yeshaya. You know, you gotta go, man. You gotta go, man. You know,
These women got that Yahuwah demon on them, man. And I tried to correct the woman the other day. She gonna block me, man, because I tried to correct it. I was like,
yeah,
all right, man, fuck you, man.
yeah. You guys got
Get you,
that demon. You got too
got,
many fucking demons on you, and
yeah.
that goes to spirit. Like when you see these dudes calling the improper names, you slowly start to see like a bunch of demons come on their ass too. You know, it
That
ain't just
pride
one
demon.
demon. They get like one demon, then another demon, and then another demon. And that when and this is when these people call them the names of any other name besides Yahweh Shem Shai. And then you wonder why you fucking getting demons. Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly. So you know, is the Lord gonna deal with you, lukewarm woman too? Don't worry, because your ass is also through. You don't think you can go around, you portraying yourself as a fucking, you know, how you saying it, like, cause you women, bro, when Jacob Trouble happened, you know, you guys are probably gonna fucking die in the middle of the road. Some dude might come up with there with a fucking chainsaw and slice you in half, cause your ass was prideful, you know.
What's
You think
this?
this is a fucking game too?
Man, I'm ready for Jacob Trouble.
Yeah, you
Kick off.
women say you're Proverbs 31, and then you go into some fucking concert. Man, man, we seen all these people
A lot of
wax
these, a
lyrics.
lot of these IG, all these IG models gonna get ravished.
Yeah, these IG models, these OnlyFans
Hmm.
models. Matter of fact, you got that OnlyFans model. I'm gonna pull this up. OnlyFans, um, um, has threesome and falls off balcony. Let's pull that. Yeah, so this is this is right here. OnlyFans star 27 plunges to her death from hotel balcony while filming threesome. Hey, honestly, man,
Oops.
there probably a
Oops.
video out there showing that, catching that on camera, because
I think I seen that shit.
yeah, I'm sure
That
there's a
stupid
video,
ass fail.
because dudes be recording everything, you know.
I think she fell off the balcony, right?
Yeah. Is
I,
there a video?
no, I think World Star had posted it. That
Yeah,
shit
I'm
crazy.
sure, and that's the thing. The Lord showing every. We're living in a time where the Lord is showing people's judgments in real time. Everyone can be able to see it. So you women are not exempt. You think you beautiful. The Lord not a respecter of person. So just because you a model or whatever, don't mean your ass is gonna get
Yeah, he
fucking.
looking at the spirit.
Yep.
He ain't looking at the outward appearance. He looking at your soul. He
Yeah.
looking at your spirit. What he
Yeah.
say?
I
Don't
don't.
lust after her beauty. It's a reason he said that.
Yeah.
Cause she could be bad as hell, but she a level 10 demon in in the spirit. And you laying with her in bed. Nigga, you sleeping with a demon whole time and don't you know.
Yeah. So yeah. That's pretty much, we're gonna see these judgments come out. I don't know if you brothers got any other precepts. Um. But I'm pretty much gonna end it right there. The Lord coming with you, lukewarm ass people, man. Um, and He gonna spit you out. He gonna spit you out. So yeah, Lord willing, this is edifying. You know, um, you know, the the Lord coming for you, man. The Lord coming for you, and I'm gonna say, call Allah, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Bashem, Yahweh
Yahushai,
Shai,
Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Kakadash.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end it right there, man. And double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutations to all you men pushing this word, and you few sincere women's, you know, I would say salutations and shalom.